Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And today's video's here meaning one thing: we have yet another dissection slash autopsy of the weekend upon the horizon. But to save all of our sanities, or whatever's left of our sanity, we're not really going to dive into the depths of Russell Martin's press conference and Russell Martin himself. Nah, instead we're going to focus in and discuss the elephant in the room. The elephant in not only the poor performance but the poor result, but also the elephant that's been sort of lingering around in the background and getting bigger and bigger and bigger this entire transfer window, and that's of course Mr. Eggman. But as this is going to be a pretty tough video, if you don't mind hitting a like button, that would be greatly appreciated, or even hitting the subscribe button as well, as we try to chase the 70k dream that unfortunately our boy Eggman's clearly not going to be a part of regarding this channel. But as we move on and try to earn that subscription and earn that like, let's get in to the proper video then, shall we? And dive in to this autopsy then. Now, unlike our last couple of videos where we've reacted to maybe press conferences or what Martin's been saying, we did actually mention this topic very briefly in the actual recap himself. But again, it was so brief. I think it was about 20 seconds long in total, because to me, again, we all had heard Eggman refused to come on, but in Russell Martin's presser he said he did say he was injured. So I decided to err on the side of caution, because injuries in the warm-ups can happen to footballers. I mean, if you play fantasy football, in just the last 7 days alone, you've seen the likes of Cole Palmer drop out in the warm-up 5 minutes before the warm-up finished versus West Ham. He pulled something, and that was him, ladies and gentlemen. Us Rangers fans will remember, of course, the infamous game where Alan McCoy's got injured in the warm-up as well. But these two clear cases of actual injuries have something in common, and that was both players letting the staff and manager frickin' know they had picked something up in the warm-up, and they didn't just sit on the bench looking grumpy for 60 odd minutes, and when the team really needed them, turn around to the manager and be like, oh aye, but 65 minutes ago I got injured, by the way, I can't frickin' play, and wrap up any potential plan that Russell Martin tried to put in place. You know what I mean? Slightly different scenarios for our boy Igamane. But again, I decided to err on the side of caution just in case it was a sort of mix in communication and something fell apart. But I wanted to wait for more information before really diving in, and more information was supplied today as Sky Sports ran the story and shown that Eggman wasn't involved in training. Does that mean he was injured, CJ? Nah, he wasn't involved in training, because apparently there is zero injury and he wasn't hurt. So Rangers have just made that decision to move on, and Eggman will be eventually moved on at some point this frickin' transfer window. And that's really frustrating to me, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because I respect this kid's ability, I respect this kid's talent, right? I think he's a fantastic player, but no one, and I mean no one in that dressing room, and no one that's ever been in the dressing room, is bigger than the club. And I think one of the many problems we experience now as Rangers fans, and one of the many problems we've got as a fan base, is there's too many players in that dressing room that think they are. But if you're a regular viewer of our channel, you'll know for a fact that I always try to look things balanced, and I try and look at things fairly. I try to look at the good and the bad. Even if I sit this side, I try and look at it and I bring it up in a video, and I just try and provide all the evidence, right? So I understand that Scottish football is being left in the dark ages. I'm not absolutely blind in saying this is the epitome of everything that is in football. Our game is being left in the dark ages because the idiots are benefiting from every single fan base and every single club sitting arguing between each other, whilst the puppet masters are clearing 400k today, nothing but take this game frickin' backwards. So I get it, I honestly get it from that point of view. If his agent's been in his ear, or if a club's tapped them up, we'll speak about that later on as well, and tell him you're earning this amount right now, but to do the exact same job, I will give you this amount. No wonder the kids glancing at 22-year-old and starting to go, oh this. I mean, I think some of us will be older than that watching today's video, and if whatever you're earning right now to do the exact same job, if you were earning or offered this amount, would you not go ahead to take it? So from a human point of view, I understand why players move on. I understand why players want to go here, there and everywhere. Even when you put Rangers to one side, when people and sort of judge players for moving to this country and earning this amount and everything like that, you sit and look at it and be like, no wonder they're gone. Have you seen the moolah they're going ahead and making? Football can be an incredibly short career, you know what I mean? Nothing is guaranteed. One bad injury is all it takes for it all to go away. You know what I mean? You didn't continue to get paid year upon year upon year. Once your contract's done, if you get a bad injury, no club's going to continue to supply that money. That all goes away, and then you're left, right? So I get it from that human point of view. You'll go where you're getting offered the most amount of money, and again, Scottish football isn't anywhere near the level to fight back against that, because we didn't generate nothing, and again, we're ran by idiots. But there has to be a right and wrong way, or there is a right or wrong way to actually do it. And for me, Eggman is clearly in the wrong here for the way he's went ahead and approached this. But it's not just an Eggman situation, you know what I mean? We're seeing this more and more in football now. I mean, one of the biggest talking points in the entire UK right now is the fact that Isak is refusing to train and play for Newcastle right freaking now, because he's trying to force a move to Liverpool. And when the club used to hold 99.9% of the power, you would say that's flipped the exact freaking opposite, and player power is running the game right now, because they can pick and choose when they train, they can pick and choose when they play, they can throw managers under the bus, they can sign a contract, 3, 4, 5, 6 year deal when it turns to Isak, but they could turn around one day and be like, you know what, I know I've signed that and everything like that, I've got it down on paper, but nah, I'm not on it anymore. I want out the door. It is absolutely poisoning the game, and football's in a very, very dangerous spot right now, and we're just getting a wee tiny slice of that drama in terms of Eggman. But this type of stuff is everywhere. So for me, it's not an isolated incident, you know what I mean? It's not just Rangers' fault this is happening or anything like that. You've seen it happening, you're going to continue to see it time and time again, and it is really, really worrying. But again, narrowing in on our by Eggman and narrowing in on our terms of who we are and where we are, it is really, really disappointing, because I rate this kid absolutely to the hill. I think he's brilliant, you know what I mean? He's got a wee bit of that creativeness, he's just got something a wee bit different, he's enjoyable to watch, and when he was played properly in the number 9 position, he absolutely showed us where he could go and where he could potentially take us if we went all in and put the team on his shoulders and played him in that role. Now again, for the sake of balance for this type of video, if you want to talk about how Rangers have handled Eggman and maybe push him out the door, you could make an argument that we have wasted about 6 months of this kid's development, and we maybe hindered him in terms of that way, because we played him up front for a while and then we chucked him out wide for a journeyman, if you want. But say what you want about Dessers, who's been sold to Athens about 75 times in the last 3 months, but at the same time the guy still turns up, trains and plays. So whatever you want to say about the guy, that's a professional at least, you know what I mean? There's no too much I don't think Eggman could learn from Dessers in terms of how to put the ball into the back of it, but in terms of up here and showing respect and being a professional, the kid's got a hell of a lot to learn, and he could learn for the big man. And that for me is why I'm really, really struggling to offer much sympathy and go down a rabbit hole. Oh, it's Russell Martin's fault. Oh, it's Rangers' fault. Aye, absolutely. If he was frustrated about his lack of development in the number 9 and feels we failed him as a football club by no playing him the last 6 months where he wanted to play, if he had trained, if he had kept playing and eventually he was sold and then he came out in an interview and said that's why he wanted to leave because he wasn't getting played at a number 9, I think 99.9% of the Rangers fan base would look at that interview and go, you know what, if that was the reason he eventually left, we've got no problems with that, because we as a fan base felt the same. Some of us were screaming for him to play, but that's not what he's done. He's not continued to train, he's not continued to play. He has faked an injury and tried to force his way out the door, which for me is causing the entire issue, and it's showing a complete disrespect and a lack of respect to not only the fan base but also to the club, who again took a massive gamble on him, gone ahead and signed him after he's played one professional season over at Morocco when Lille wasn't ball at their arse about him, or Feyenoord wasn't ball at their arse. It was Rangers that went there, brought him and gave him the incredible opportunity to play and showcase what talent he's got, and he has got incredible talent, absolutely, but it was Rangers that put him on the European stage that then got the interest of Lille and Feyenoord. So where's the respect for that? And again, I might be completely off base and you might be gone down one way or the other, and you might even agree with Eggman just wanting to get out because Russell Martin can't manage a football team, but I just think there's ways to go about it, and the fact that he has refused to come on the park and feigned an injury and just straight up refused to come ahead and play when the club that again took the gamble on you and the club that pays your wages is in a tough start to the season and a tough game, and we need you to come off the bench and provide the talent you've clearly got, because he could have changed the game. Again, he's not showed too much this season because he's been half-arsing it because he does want to leave, but again, in that game of football, in that context, he could have won us that game, but he chose not to even try. And that's where my frustration builds and my lack of sympathy for him wanting to move on. There's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. For me, Eggman chose the complete wrong option. And it's crap to feel this way, it really is, because I honestly think this kid's brilliant in terms of the football. I think he's going to go on and have an incredible career, especially if he can sort that out and maybe get a new agent that's not going to turn his head every 10.5 frickin' seconds. But again, at the same time, just the way he's just refusing to play his son, for me as a Rangers fan, I just struggle to get beyond. If he trained and played the right way, I'd wish him nothing but the absolute best, and I wouldn't blame him for any of the many reasons, financial or no playing him completely. I wouldn't blame him at all. But refusing to come off the bench is something I can't get behind, so I just want him gone, ladies and gentlemen. And if he is expected to leave very, very shortly, he will leave having played 46 games for this football club in which he's scored 16 goals and he has 3 assists to his name as well, which again shows some bright spots, especially when you consider how many were sub games or how many games we played on out of position. He could have really been signed for us, but I imagine he'll go on to have a very, very good career because he's a very, very good footballer. It's made a very, very poor choice in my personal opinion. And again, that poor choice isn't leaving, it's the manner in which he's forced that exit. But again, whatever we sell this kid on for, he's going to be making a massive profit for us in terms of the football club, because again, we either sign him for 600k or 1.5 million or 1 million. I think it's closer between the 600 and 1 million if I'm being brutally honest. He will make this club a lot of money, right? And that's what you do. You bring players, you take gambles, you try and flip them. It is great money. We've shown that with Jeff Day as well, and when we make the transfer out video that we'll do at the end of the season, we will break all these down, but it will make us a lot of money. But for me, again, his poor choices and the way he's went ahead and handled this entire situation, I think we'll earn a wee bit less than what we probably should have based on the talent this kid's actually got. So again, that's still a wee bit frustration. But again, the last little thing I do want to talk about, I don't think I've talked about it during my ramblings, you can let me know in the comment section below, but if this kid's head's been turned because his agent has had discussions and they've had an agreement with Lille, see if they've had an agreement with Lille and that money's been taken and all that stuff, and if it has played out that way that it allegedly has played out, isn't that tapping up? Like, you know, I made a silly joke about that previously in the past, but if this entire circus has been started because Lille and Nerve had an agreement in place before the clubs have even came to an agreement, isn't that breaking transfer rules? Or am I being absolutely stupid and something's changed in football? You can let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe I've missed something, you know what I mean? I need to do a lot of reading, I need to do a lot of player profiles. Maybe I've missed a wee rule change where you can agree with the player beforehand, before the clubs come to an agreement at all. Maybe it has changed, but for me, this entire thing has started because a potential breach in terms of a transfer, and that doesn't make any sense to me why nobody is actually talking about that aspect when it comes to that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts and opinions in terms of Eggman. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he'll go on to have a brilliant career. I'm disappointed he's leaving. I'm disappointed to leave losing a talent like him, but I'm more disappointed in his own actions and the decisions and the poor choice he's made and refusing to come off the bench to come and play for this football club, especially when we need him. You know what I mean? Coming on for the last 20 minutes versus St Mirren isn't going to hurt his chances of joining Lille. You know what I mean? All it could do was potentially help our football club, and he chose the opposite. So for me, that's just how I feel. You can let me know in the comment section below, and I know a lot of you absolutely love Igamane as well, so you probably cook me down there, but again, the club's what matters to me. You know what I mean? I really like a lot of these players and I get behind and I love and cherish the moments they give me, but it's the badge that matters most to me, and that's the way I'll always be. I didn't support Rangers because of this guy or this guy or this guy. I support this guy, this guy and this guy because I support Rangers, and that's never been lost to me. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As always, shout out to the legends that are signed up to the channel Legend memberships. We greatly appreciate it, as we do those that are signed up to the supporter range, and to everybody that's tuned in to watch today's video. I do apologise it's not as happy as what I want to make in the video, but we should be announcing some players very soon, so there should be some smiles on the faces. Until then, I've been Siege192. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.